Alright guys, so we're in this trade. I am in a little bit of drawdown, but I still think this trade is very valid. We had a 4 hour candle range last week. We formed the EBP for the 10 a.m. 1 hour time frame. We retraced up into this 1 hour inversion. Even though we're breaking below these lows, I still think the draw is further lower. Let's do this. And we also reached into a 30-minute PDRA. If not, it kind of looks like it, but not really. 15-minute time frame, we have a 15-minute CB holding, which can be also, another form of confluence. And then on the 5-minute time frame, it just, we had that strong bearish candle. I think we continue here off of this 3-minute inversion. So honestly, just waiting. Here's our break-even point, and I will update you guys to see what happens for the trade idea. Honestly, if NQ continues to melt, which I'm looking at in the order flow chart right now, so if NQ fails to melt, we're probably going to get stopped out. But if it holds this area right here with the CBD and we just continue lower and we melt to the value area low, I think we have a good chance of being break even, and if not, being closer to reaching our profit objective. So honestly, we're just waiting here and being patient. I think this trade is a good idea, but the only issue was we traded the stronger asset, and ES will most likely go up if NQ goes up, and we'll probably get stopped out and not hold this inversion. So honestly, my main case scenario here is like, hey, we just gotta have patience. This trade idea is good. It's a valid setup, honestly, and took it after the 3-minute inversion close. So I just gotta have patience, gotta be waiting, and just that's really it, honestly. But it doesn't look like a valid setup that's gonna hold, but I kind of just want to have confidence, and I want to have like some form of belief in this trade, at least to like go break even, to then eventually mitigate the risk. But it looks like it's probably gonna stop us out here. So NQ is moving up higher. We are retracing back up. The sellers are unable to hold, which is unfortunate here, because the delta is super bearish, and we had strong aggression there with 400 orders of sellers, but the passive buyers, and we're at a weekly point of control, so we might just get stopped out here. And honestly, I'm totally fine with accepting the risk of -1%. So yeah, I'm totally fine with that, honestly. And it is what it is, like, guys, you have to accept the risk. You have to know that not every single trade idea is going to work out, and as part of the process, like, it's part of the process of like, hey, not every day is a winning day. Not every trade is a trading day, and not every setup is gonna play out the way you want it to. So maybe you're just entering a little too early. Maybe the timing was just not there. The market just didn't want to move in your favor, even though the setup was A plus. And it just happens like that. Sometimes you'll hit break even, sometimes you'll lose, sometimes you'll win. And as long as you have an edge, as long as you have the probabilities in your favor, you win. And it's one of the biggest things I'm realizing. I even took notes here. Right here is like, you feel emotional because you're not following your system all the way, and before you make that decision, you're hesitant because it's not a high probability setup. Why take it? Just wait, and you'll make more progress and not feel so emotional if you follow the system, son. Learn the art of patience and following the system. It's not that hard. You just keep being emotional and impatient. So that's one of the biggest things I realized I was dealing with, was I was being way too emotional, in terms of like progression and results and like wanting to pay out, and I just wasn't following my system. I was gonna take a 30-second inversion over here, which was even of a worse setup. I won't even lie to you. This one right here, but it was on NQ, and I was gonna take it, and I was gonna reach for the below those lows and target this sell side because we had strong aggression of sellers, but I never took it. You know why? Because it just wasn't following my system all the way. Like, I just didn't have any higher time frame confluences backing it up, and it just didn't look like a high probability setup. And to me, it just like, if we don't have that, then there's no point of trying to take it. Like, just wait for your system, wait for the setup to be presented, and take something that's high probability. Stop trying to like force bad setups, because then eventually that's where your probability is lower. And let me turn this music off. That's where your probability is lower, and that's where you like don't have an edge. Like, you don't have data backing that up. So I realized, like, I need to have data backing my trades up. I need to have an edge backing these trades up, and I just need to have some form of confluence, and that's really it. So it looks like we probably will get stopped out here in a few seconds. NQ is moving up. Yes, it's pushing. Honestly, I'm completely fine with this result. Just gonna journal this trade later on tonight. Let's pull up the ES right here on the DX feed. Probably gonna get stopped out here. Bing, order failed. I don't know why I did this. It's a mess. Go back. Go back to NQ. There we go. So we got stopped out. Very, 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 very unfortunate trade. And yeah, that's really it. Honestly, I'm just gonna call it a day here. Walk away. Do what I have to do. You know, like there's not much else to it. Honestly, it's you know, yeah. Order filled. Both accounts basically locked out. We lost 500. We're down 433 on this account, and then we're down 474 on this account. Was this an A plus setup? Honestly, following the system wise, it was more of a B plus. It was still following the system, but it wasn't where I would have strong conviction in taking. Reason for that is because I just didn't have the second stage of cracking correlation, and then the order flow wise, it was hitting the weekly point of control, and the buyers were more in control. The buyers were more in control of the weekly point of control, if I'm being truly honest. So if we take all this off right here, so right there's a low volume node, but if we have this right here, look, the weekly point of control is right here. So if the market is holding this right here area, right there, the buyers are in control the whole time. The buyers are in control. They have all this right here, and then we're failing to push down lower and continue to the downside here. So that just goes to show to me like, hey, if we're unable to push below, the market is what most likely it's going to continue up higher, retrace, respects it both times. Once right here, and then second right there, and then now it's hitting, you know, a sound balance. Also with the delta here, we can pretty much see, you know, the sellers were in control, but they were getting absorbed by the passive buyers multiple times right there. And then all this right here, you can see that's all sellers in control, and the passive buyers are eating them up, and you can just pretty much see that happening. So that is pretty much really it for me today. I'm going to handle some other business and yeah, just walk away. So I'll catch you guys later.